things for certain and two things for sure. Christmas has changed a lot since I've gotten older, and it sucks. I mean, as a kid, I often saw the holidays as something magical. The lights, the music, the gifts that magically appeared under the Christmas tree. It was all so exciting. But as we get older, that magic can fade. I mean, we start to experience life's realities, aka we start that whole adulting phase. The losses, the challenges, the grief, and not just the grief of losing a loved one, but the grief of losing a job, a home, a friendship, or grieving what your life once was. Grief is hard. It's messy. It's painful. And honestly, it sucks. Aging has a way of bringing hard truths to the forefront. It pulls us out of the fantasies we were once living, or aka out of Delulu land, and brings us into the realities of life. We realize that things can change, people can change, and sometimes so do we. The joy we felt as little kids can feel so far away as we're navigating the heaviness of adulthood. It can be legit overwhelming. And I have seen that play out in so many different areas of my life this year. Aging can be really heavy and super, super hard. And the things that once brought us joy may not bring us joy anymore. So how do we navigate all of those challenges? And how do we get through the holiday season, the time deemed as the most wonderful? The first is acknowledging that we are feeling what we're feeling. So don't feel pressured to conform to the idea that the holidays are the most wonderful time of the year. The truth is, for a lot of us, it may not be. It could be the complete opposite, and that's okay. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment. And this is coming from someone who is currently doing that today. Grief, sadness, or even frustration are all valid emotions. And serving yourself sometimes means being honest with those realities and giving yourself the space to feel them. And I got that tip from a therapist. So maybe you've experienced the loss of a loved one, whether it was recently or years ago. Or maybe you're grieving the life that you imagined you would have right now, and that's not the case. Whatever it is, your feelings are valid, and naming them and acknowledging them is the first step. The next thing I would say is set realistic expectations. You ain't gotta do it all, and you only gotta live under your expectations and not anybody else's. So if traditional holiday events and activities feel overwhelming, gracefully bow out, because that's you doing what's best for you. So focus on what's manageable and meaningful. So this could mean creating a new tradition that better suits where you are right now. So give yourself permission to let go of the shoulds and embrace what just feels right for you this year. And then the last thing, do what brings you joy. I've talked about joy so many different times because it really is important in our aging experience that we do things that bring us joy. It helps us with our outlook on life. It helps us with our mental health. It helps in so many different areas. And it's so important that we make space to do things that bring us joy. The thing is that joy might look different now, and that's okay. But maybe for you, joy is indulging in your favorite treat, like some good chocolate brownies, or watching a comforting movie like Coming to America, or calling someone who typically makes you laugh. Even if it's just for a few minutes, prioritize these small actions that make you feel good and remind you of what you value most. For me, it's been reading books. I like to read books now. I joined a book club and everything. What brings you joy might not be traditional, and that is perfectly fine. The goal is to create space for moments that are going to lift your spirit, even in the midst of grief and chaos. So look, I know it might be hard right now, and the reality is just so hard to face. But I do want to encourage you that joy really can come in the morning. Sometimes it's coming based on the little things that we make time for that can lift our spirits, put a smile on our face. And it's important that we make note of those moments so that when the darkness comes again, when the chaos, when the grief, when all the different waves of life hit us again, we can remember and apply whatever it was that worked the last time, because our mental health is so important. We have to stay on top of that as we continue aging. From my heart to your heart, happy holidays, or as happy as you can make them.